Welcome back to the Oddcast. I'm Alex.
And I'm Ricky.
And we're just two odd dudes who decided to start a podcast.
And today we're talking about superheroes and the coolest superhero powers to have and also the lamest superhero powers to have.
And the useful ones.
And the usefulest superpowers to have.
Exactly. I love superhero things.
I know you do.
I watch a lot of YouTube videos about it.
Way
Way too many.
Real nerd.
Oh, yeah.
Are you a nerd or a geek?
Is a nerd like really smart at math
Or
and stuff?
a GERD?
I'm a GERD.
A geek nerd.
I'm a neek.
I think GERD is cooler.
All right, cool. That's fine by me. I'm a GERD then.
Yeah. But I have a question for you before we start.
All right.
I saw this on TikTok.
Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, is this the thing that you have a sticky note about?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Don't tell the people I have a sticky note. That's why it's hidden under my hands.
Oh.
But I need to remember to ask you.
Got it.
You ever
It's in the intro. Why?
You ever thought about the fact that sharks don't know that camels exist?
No, I haven't. I have not thought about that.
Why is no one talking about that?
What do you mean? What?
Think about it. A shark has no idea that a camel's a thing.
There are animals that we don't know that exist.
I know, but don't worry about that right now. We can worry about that on a different podcast, and we talk about animals that don't exist and make them up. But think about the fact that sharks know we exist, and we know sharks exist. Camels know we exist, and we know camels exist. But they don't know that each other exists.
You know what we should do?
That could be a match made in heaven. Think about a camel hump on a shark.
Whoa,
outside of the dorsal fin. You put a dorsal fin on a camel hump on a shark. That'd be freaky to look at.
It'd be the humpback shark. Yeah.
They have a tiger shark. Why can't we have a camel shark?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there is one. We just don't know about it yet.
But think
Here's
about
what
if we introduce them.
That's what I'm saying.
What do you think would happen?
We should start a Discovery Channel. Discovery Channel show.
So what
called
we have to do.
Animal Encounters Animal.
Yeah. What we have to do.
Animal Encounters.
Is we have to buy a camel.
Okay.
Or we use our superpowers, depending on which one we have, to steal and or just obtain a camel.
Man, now I gotta choose.
And then we
right
take the camel to the ocean. And then we use the superpowers again to bring in a great white near the shore. Because they don't typically come near the shore.
Right.
That's why we found out last week that coconuts kill more people than sharks.
I think this is a great plan, but you have to put both in cages right next to each other. You need an above ground aquarium for the shark. Because if a shark is right at the edge of the water and he's about to get out of the water, he's going to freak out and not care about this camel.
Yeah, so we need to take a camel inside the Odyssey place.
Yeah, exactly.
Off the freeway.
Just walk it by one of the windows.
Yeah, and just keep walking them back and forth.
I mean, think about this. Because sharks in aquariums above ground. This is still the intro.
Yeah, I know. That's fine.
This sharks above ground. No, not above ground. In water that's above ground water.
Yeah.
In aquariums.
Like your pool that's underwater.
Exactly, yeah. Ones with windows.
Yeah.
They see a whole lot more of the world than some sharks in the ocean do.
Well, they see a different perspective, not more of the world.
Yeah, not by like square footage.
Yeah.
But I mean, in sight of the people that really run the world, which is humans.
Yeah, Think about the fact that this one question has us 5 minutes into this intro, and you're still thinking about it.
I know.
And at first you thought it was stupid, but now how long you're thinking about it, we could do it.
I'm saying we could.
What a great TikTok this could be.
That's true. Actually,
us
TikTok,
introducing a camel to a great white.
What are we calling it? What's the thing when you set up people on blind dates? It's like animal blind dates.
What's the thing where you set up people on blind? It's called a blind date.
I know. I was figuring it out in my head as I said the sentence.
Hey, what's that blind date thing that we do?
I feel like I said something very similar to that last week. My ability to say things properly.
Thing last week was the
sleeping
blanket.
bag.
Yeah, the slanket.
I was listening to it today, and later in the episode, I said something wrong again.
I feel like there's a Snuggie. We should invent the slanket, sleeping bag blanket. Be a totally different thing because you invented it.
It's just normal blanket material, but it's like a hot pocket. You make yourself into a pastry.
Yeah. All right, we've delayed long enough. Let's talk about superheroes. Okay. Let's get to the Oddcast. All right, so our first question we asked people is if you could have one superpower, what would it be? Now, This is always an interesting one. One of my favorite would you rathers to ask people. I'm going to ask you right now, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Would you rather be a bird or a turtle?
A bird.
Did you think because you could fly?
Well, I mean, yes, but I
that
thought
was
about
your initial thought, right?
Well, because you asked me this question before.
Right.
And that is still the initial thought,
right.
What I had before.
It like Jedi mind tricks you where you're
right.
like, bird, fly.
Yeah.
But then you think about a turtle and you're like, they have some upsides too. They live a long time.
I don't know.
And they swim in the ocean and then they're flying underwater. Think
Master
about that.
Oogway from Kung Fu Panda is pretty inspirational.
Yeah. And fin, noggin.
Dude.
See? Yeah. Like turtles, very quotable.
Yeah, if I
and
could
you
be
don't
a
even
sea
trust
turtle.
birds.
I know.
You chose bird.
Well, I don't trust government birds, but
right.
if I could be a bird, I could be like double agent.
Right, but we just have this idea, right?
Yeah.
My theory behind that is the idea of being able to fly.
Right.
Is for some reason connected to this idea of freedom.
Yeah. Yeah.
We associate that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, if I could fly, it's like I'm so free. But man, if you could breathe underwater like a turtle, some turtle breeds can breathe through their butt.
That's impressive.
Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
They're called butt breathers. It's a real thing. Go Google it.
Good for them.
Yep. Anyways.
Don't Google it.
Google turtles breathing through their butts. But anyways, but then if you think about it, the way they move underwater, it's like they're flying.
No, I totally agree with you.
Because they do the same thing. Hand.
Yeah, well, sea turtles, because if
you're watching, listening with your ears, this is how they move.
Yeah, listening with your eyes.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, sure. That's what you said. If you were a sea turtle, that's one thing.
Is this distracting?
Yes, it is. I'm trying to make a point here, all right? If you're a sea turtle, that's one thing, because there's a lot of freedom that comes with being a sea turtle. You're not the slow-moving land or like pond turtle that a lot of people think of. Yeah. And if you're a tortoise, you move really slow and you live in the desert. Whoa, they're not stupid.
Yeah, they're stupid.
They're great pets.
How do you know?
They sleep a lot. My friend Austin has one.
Oh.
He actually had one that had 3 legs at one point, but then it died because it had 3 legs. He rescued it and then it died.
Well, that was just the saddest story I've ever heard.
It was really, it was sad. He was really disappointed. You know, he was like, "Oh, I got this weird quirky turtle," and then no more quirky turtle. Anyway, here's my thought.
Should have put a Hot Wheel on its thing so it could like wheel around.
Scoot around, yeah. Here's my thought with the whole birds and turtle thing.
Yeah.
Right. If we're saying like right now, I turn into either a bird or a turtle, I'm still choosing bird every time. Like I'm gonna weigh it out. It's cool if you're a sea turtle. You can swim and do all that stuff. But, man, I'm going to be so freaked out if I'm just in the ocean all the time right now.
That's true.
Like, a bird, at least I know what's going on in normal society. Like, okay, watch out for cars and trucks and other bigger birds. And don't eat, what's it, like bread? Am I actually supposed to eat bread? Or rice. Don't eat rice.
Yeah.
Alka-Seltzer tablets.
Depends on what kind of bird, too.
Bad. Yeah. I'd be a bird.
But then you'd have a bird brain.
And then, well, yeah.
And you wouldn't live as long.
Do you think I wouldn't remember all the stuff?
No, you definitely wouldn't.
Yeah, I'm still going bird.
Yeah, I'm going turtle, man.
Right.
As long as I got someone to put me in the ocean, we're good to go.
I mean, because you're probably not going to remember as a turtle either. I don't think turtles are going to remember all that either.
I mean, they lived like 200. They got some pretty good memories, I'm assuming.
I'm saying they got to forget, because if you live for 200 and you remember everything, that'd be rough.
That's a lot. All right, so superpowers. Let's do this. If you could have one superpower, what would it be? You want to start at the bottom side, and I'll start at the top side, and we meet in the middle?
Yeah, that sounds
like
good.
Sandwich right there. You go first.
Okay. Isaiah said to stop time / control time without aging effects.
That is.
What do you think of that?
Awful.
I agree.
That's an awful idea.
It doesn't work.
Have you ever watched a movie where that happens? It always messes stuff up.
Yeah.
It is the most dangerous of superpowers.
It is. And people, listen, this is my problem with The Flash. I think The Flash was the first one or somebody posted like super speed.
That was going to be mine, man.
Yeah, I know.
You just stole my thunder.
I understand. It's fine. Anyway.
My Flash.
Your Flash. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, here's the problem with it. If you're moving that fast, like Flash can move at like the speed of light or faster. I don't know. He can at least move at the speed of sound, and he can definitely catch bullets. If you poke somebody in super speed, you basically just shot them.
Yeah, dead.
And if you stop time, you're a speedster. You can run super fast. Or if you slow time.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know what that would do to the ground beneath your feet if you stop timed and walk on it.
You'd have to have great shoes.
Yeah.
You couldn't wear Air Ones.
Yeah,
they'd wear out. Think about this. Who's cooler, The Flash or Hammy from Over the Hedge?
Hammy.
Yeah, for sure.
Way cooler.
Yeah.
Sugar. He's got sugar.
Flash
rush
is
powers.
lame compared to him.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Hammy on energy drinks 1,000 times. If they fought, Hammy wins.
Yeah, absolutely. Because one, Flash never see it come. I don't know if you've ever seen the Flash show.
I saw some of it. It was lame.
Oh my god, I loved it at first, but I saw this video about the inconsistencies on it, and I was like, oh my god.
Think about it.
Yeah, he like always stops before he attacks the villain. Like, just tackle him.
Yeah.
Just freaking cuff the guy.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Hammy would never stop.
No.
Also,
he's crazy.
Flash wouldn't see Hammy coming.
That's true. Okay, since you stole the Flash one, the next one is to communicate with animals. Okay, this would be kind of cool.
That's cool. I wouldn't choose it, but I respect it.
Yeah.
Because if you're living...
there's not a lot of like risk involved, I don't think.
Right.
Other than like your dog talking trash, because I still think that's a thing. I know you don't, but I'd be like just if you did,
yeah.
And then I'm communicating with animals, I'm like, hey, Dozer, and he's like, shut up. I'd be so offended.
I'll smack you.
You look at me like that again. If you don't feed me right now, I'm gonna bite you.
Man, he would be so confused.
I know.
Imagine if he like, if he could talk crap about you, and then he's been doing this whole
back to
time,
him?
and then he's like, what?
He couldn't hear me.
All right, let's see. What's the next one? I just closed it. I said one of these, but I'll talk about that later. Zach said turn anything into food.
That's so dumb.
No, hold on. I asked him about this.
It was dumb.
Think about it.
I have.
Did you see what I asked him about in it?
No.
Okay.
I was working.
If you can turn people into food, for one, I had to stipulate with him. What'd you say?
I didn't say anything, but all I'm saying is people can already be food, and I don't like where this conversation is going. That's called cannibalism.
Right, that's true. What I'm saying is this is a supervillain power. Because he was thinking you just like touch something, turn it into a burger or like into a salad or whatever. And I was like, if you can just touch a human and they turn into like a charcuterie board. That's
the board or the stuff on the charcuterie board?
The stuff on the charcuterie board. Maybe the whole thing. I don't know. Whatever. That's fine. That's crazy. Like you just straight up just killed somebody. That's just way too dangerous of a power.
Yeah. I still think it's kind of dumb.
But upside, OP.
The upside is like you could end world hunger. So
Maybe.
It could be.
But you're still getting rid of other resources.
Not if you touch a bunch of trash.
That's true. You just walk through a trash yard.
You're a recycle man.
You could be a hero, but you could also be used for evil.
Yeah. This is the best one.
Let me hear.
I'm showing my hand right now.
I don't believe you.
I am.
No, I believe that you're showing your hand, but telekinesis?
Yeah.
You think so?
Move stuff with your mind, right?
Oh, man.
That's
that always goes
right?
bad too.
That's telekinesis, right?
Yeah.
No, dude, that's the best. Okay, so here's my thing. People that are always like flying's the best. Stupid. Flying's stupid.
Agreed.
Okay?
Flying is stupid.
Get in an airplane. But if you really want to fly that bad, telekinesis is way better.
Because you can just move yourself.
You just move yourself. Or you just jump on a big rock and move the rock.
Right.
Telekinesis is such a great thing. Like, to be able to just move things with your mind.
Yeah.
One, think about this. Like wizard chess.
Oh, yeah. That'd be cool.
Move stuff with your mind. How cool would that be?
You'd look really cool.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And like a book, for me to be reading and not have to hold the pages open, but hold it open with my mind as I'm reading.
Yeah.
Man, the neck pain that I would stop having.
Oh my gosh.
Phenomenal.
I agree with you.
Think about that.
For all things like
driving,
all basic things.
I drive an hour to work, man. Telekinesising my car or myself to work and not have to actively be driving it and sitting in that like tense position where you get back pain because I'm getting older. All I'm thinking about is back pain, man. Telekinesis is great.
Well, so what would you do? You just sit back in your chair and like
and I
just drive it and press the pedal with your mind?
Yeah.
Here's the thing, because
I could press the pedal with my foot still and just hold the steering wheel with my mind.
Yeah,
I'm fine with that too.
I think you have to do things like more simply, because if you're like just lifting your car and bringing it to your school, like you're exerting yourself a lot. I assume, because I don't think you can just do any power like without exerting yourself.
Right, but
that's my thought there.
But even still, like if I just like I stand on my longboard and I just telekinesis fly myself over to school, that's going to be a lot quicker and take a lot less mental capacity than having to be aware the entire time you're driving.
That would also really suck, because you'd have to balance on your board the whole way.
No, man, I just even if I don't have to, I can just hold myself.
Hold yourself.
Right? Think about that.
You put yourself in a big duffel bag.
If I
stick your head out,
I'll just inflate my paddleboard. I'll just
That'd
leave
be
it
fun.
inflated and just lay on it.
You could be a silver surfer.
Yeah. But not silver. Brown.
That's true.
Brown surfer.
Brown surfer. Yeah. I think one that's very similar, but would do pretty much the same thing as manipulating gravity. Somebody said that on here.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really cool power. That may be my favorite one on here.
But I feel like manipulating gravity affects too many other people.
That's what I think it's cool. Like you could use it in a bubble where it's just you and you're making yourself fly
you're
around.
Assuming you could just use it for just you.
Yeah. Well,
I'm assuming like you're manipulating gravity for everyone.
No,
Could you imagine that? That's evil villain stuff right there.
Would be.
You're just like running on a treadmill and all of a sudden you're like floating away from the treadmill.
Dude, you straight ruin the Earth.
Yeah.
If you change the Earth's gravity.
Yeah.
But I think any of these you'd have to train for a while to be able to do something really great with them. But otherwise you have to use smaller.
Yeah. What's next? A lot of people said fly.
Your wife said be invisible.
Of course she did. Introvert.
Super strength, flight, teleport. Teleport. I always thought it was so cool as a kid. I was like, that would be my power. Too many problems, man.
Think about this. Oh, we'll talk about it later. I don't want to ruin teleport yet.
Okay. Talk about teleport later. Do you want to move to the next one?
No, we got to talk about this one.
Okay.
Mind reading.
A
couple people said this. Listen, guys. That is an awful thing. You do not want that.
Yeah.
Right? And everyone's like, oh, I could turn it off. It doesn't matter if you can turn it off. Because the moment you start to read someone's mind, one, you've invaded privacy.
Yeah, for sure.
That you shouldn't have done. That's evil.
Yeah.
That's bad. Don't do that. Two, the things you probably hear in people's mind, because the amount of things that we think every day, but then choose not to say because we think filter, needing to hear that stuff.
Yeah.
How's that going to help you? The only thing that's going to do is hurt you.
Right.
Right? Like, I go back to like the Dr. House. Did you ever watch House?
Yeah.
Where he's like, everyone's lying. Everyone lies. Like that. The reality is that's pretty true, right? Like,
yeah.
At some point, we've all lied.
Right.
Regardless, right? But then to just be like, oh, I'm going to read their mind and know the truth. Like, how does that help you every day?
Right. Yeah,
it just causes like so much trust
or something
issues.
like that.
Right. But they're trained. They can tell when someone's lying. Right. Like, they don't read their mind, but they can tell when someone's lying.
Right.
That's different. Like, to read someone's mind and to have that as a power is so problematic.
Right.
Because you will just never trust anyone ever again.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. You'd have to learn to trust people and just understand that people are worse than you thought they were.
Yeah. And like, who are you going to use that on?
It's a great question. Because if you use it on your close friends,
that's messed up, man.
That's messed up.
What if you're sitting around, we're all sitting around, I'm just like, I'm going to read Alex's mind. And I read your mind, and all you're thinking is like, man, I really got to fart right now. But there's people. I'm trying to be polite.
That'd be pretty funny. You just look at me, you go, you let it out, man. You just let it out.
Right? Like that would just be funny. But anything else?
Right, yeah.
That's like invasive.
Oh, super invasive. Super.
I ain't about it.
Not a good one.
You guys are weirdos trying to read people's minds, trying to know things that you shouldn't know.
Yeah, I think people think about it too simply, but like if you could actually read somebody's mind, it would ruin your life. And it might ruin their life.
Imagine if you're at the beginning stage where you can't turn off. Like we were saying, you haven't trained it yet, and you're just like walk in and you hear someone like, man, I really want to kill that person. You're like, oh,
right?
No, you do not want to know those things.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I do, because then I can protect. No, you don't. Because the odds are they're probably not going to do that. They're just thinking it, because we think things all the time that we don't do.
Yeah, and then you do preemptive justice, which is not justice.
That's vengeance.
It's
What did you say? Preemptive justice?
Yeah. Like you're trying to take justice for something that didn't happen yet.
Proactive, but overly proactive.
Yeah, exactly. There's a movie about that called The Minority Report. Yeah, where they like try to stop just criminals before they do things.
Yeah.
But like then they find out that it was just a likelihood that they would do it and not necessarily that they were going to do it, and they were putting people in jail for things that they weren't necessarily going to do.
Yeah.
Man.
Sounds like some countries in our current world. Yeah. The last one, shape-shifting.
Awesome power.
No.
This is an awesome power.
No,
why is this bad?
What are you going to shape-shift into?
Dude, you could be the greatest actor of all time. You just become an actor.
That's not a shape.
What? That's what shape-shifting is.
No.
It's not just you become a square.
You didn't specify. It says shape-shifting. You're becoming shapes.
Yeah, and people are made out of shapes, very complex shapes.
No.
Yeah.
They're not made out of shapes.
Don't listen to him.
They're made out of other people.
Listen, shape-shifting is the normal, like we normally take that as being you can either turn into other people or animals.
That is not true. There is a very specific word for you're able to turn into animals, and you know this.
Anamorphosis.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still shape-shifting.
No.
Yes, in comic books, shapeshifters can turn into animals.
Not in Harry Potter.
Well, that's not a comic book. That's also
I
wizards.
didn't say it was a comic book.
That's wizards. That's not superheroes. It's different.
Okay.
I think
Shapeshifting's dumb.
I think if you were a shapeshifter, you'd be the best actor.
You know what also makes really good actors?
What?
People that can act. If you're a shapeshifter, you're not a good actor. You're just a superhero.
That's true. But what I'm saying is, like, with some of these powers, if you had to have like a normal day job, just get good at acting, and then you could fit it into any movie. That's cool.
I guess so.
Or really good at hide and seek in large crowded areas.
I think that's better. That's a better argument.
I don't know if you can make money off that though.
Like you just like blend in with this wall behind us.
Yeah.
That'd be so cool.
Actually, you should be a model. That's what you should be. Because then you could just take photos for anything.
Yeah. You should just be those guys that sit out on the street and pretend to be a statue.
Yeah.
And then when someone turns away, and then you just shape into a different statue.
Or into a fire hydrant.
They're like, where'd that guy go? That'd be fun to mess with people.
That would be fun to mess with people.
All right, what's the next one? Who is your favorite superhero? All right, this is the one.
You know mine.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna get so mad so quick.
Is this one the one you're mad at Isaiah about?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Isaiah, you're about to hear the wrath, bro. All right, say yours, because everyone knows yours.
Everybody knows Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite Spider-Man?
Oh, Tom Holland's the best for sure. I really like Andrew Garfield.
Comic.
Oh, comic book?
Yeah.
No.
Like a suit? What's your favorite suit?
Probably the second Amazing Spider-Man one. Not a great movie, but the suit is amazing.
Yeah, it did look good.
Yeah.
I don't like
the web things. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
No, I like them.
I know what they're called. Well, okay, you saw the trailer, right?
Yeah.
You see the one part when there's only like 4 coming out?
Oh
right?
Yeah.
Is that 4?
Yeah.
Is it always 4?
Yeah, it's always 4.
It just looks weird to me. I'm like, because I understand the premise, because he's like,
yeah.
You know?
I thought you were talking about the webs.
No. I'm talking about the arms,
the octopus arms.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? And I'm just like, it doesn't look. I don't look at it and be like, oh, spider. You know, like I think those are, but because it's only 4, I'm like, they don't match.
I get what you're saying.
I'd rather it be 8. Think how crazy that would be, right? 8 of those things come out, and he's just sitting in the middle with his arms, and they're just like.
That would be horrible. It would be terrifying.
It'd be terrifying. That's
so
great.
Terrifying.
It's an intimidation factor.
Yeah.
Because Tom Holland is not intimidating, but Spider-Man, Paul would cry. Like we're in the movie, and those 8 mechanical legs come out, and Tom Holland just like cocoons into himself, and just is like he's just got his head sticking out like this, and this like robotic legs are.
Yeah.
Paul would run out of the theater.
Here's the thing, because if you take him and Doc Ock, who's in that movie now, take both of them.
Allegedly.
No, it's in the trailer.
That doesn't mean it's always in the movie.
Nah, he'll be in it.
Those things can be cut. Ask Paul. I just punched everything. I didn't do it.
It's okay. Everything's fine. But he's got the 4. So you take his 4, and you take Spider-Man's 4. You got 8. Boom.
Yep. But then we got to chop off his arms because that's technically 10. And his legs.
Legs too.
12.
Yeah. That's true.
She's got to be limbless. It's
like
Legolas, but limbless.
We went to the same head spot. All
right. Isaiah, you're wrong because you said the worst superhero of all time is Batman, and you can go back to my earlier rant that Batman is actually the best superhero of all time because he does everything all the other superheroes do, but without powers, and he's the only one that isn't as prideful as the rest because he's willing to do what actually needs to be done as a superhero. I rest my case. Move on.
Yeah, I'm not going to touch that. If you want to talk about it, Isaiah, you gotta message Ricky.
Yeah, go listen to the podcast first. I don't remember which episode it is, but we'll find it for you, and you can listen to that because it's pretty definitive. And you saying Spider-Man for sure, and then the Batman's the worst. Listen, man.
Does he say Spider-Man for sure is the best?
Yeah, that was the question. Who's your favorite?
Who's your favorite? He said Spider-Man for sure is his favorite.
Yeah.
And then just said Batman's overrated.
Yeah. Well, he's wrong on one of those definitively. Okay.
There's a lot of Spider-Man.
I'm fine with Spider-Man. I don't have a problem with Spider-Man. I think Spider-Man's a great superhero.
He is great. I think in some situations he could be Batman. Not a lot, but in some situations.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of change. There's like typically it's just the Avengers on here.
Yeah.
Right? You got like Batman, Superman, the Avengers, and then
you have one Deadpool.
Somebody said Storm, which I really appreciate. One of the X-Men.
Someone was different.
Yeah. But the best one is John Wick.
Yeah, John Wick.
This one actually brought me like some of the most joy when I was reading through them.
Yeah.
Because I've seen one of the John Wick movies, but my friends obsess about him.
Yeah,
like
they're crazy.
Yeah, and it was really good. He's absolutely brutal man, and he does it all because of a dog. Right? Which I respect. And then he gets a new dog at the end.
Yeah.
Does his second dog die in the second movie?
I don't know. I haven't seen the second one.
Oh, Paul, have you seen it?
Don't tell me. I haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
So, here's what I think is crazy.
Yeah.
Because you talk about superheroes now, and everyone just thinks Avengers, like you said, right?
Right.
And the entire premise of the Avengers movies is great. Like how it unfolds throughout the bajillion movies that there are now.
Yes.
Phenomenal, right?
Mm-hmm.
They did a really good job at intertwining those and making it cool. What I found interesting as we're talking about this is so many of the people that are a part of this have this idea. They're like, this person's the best, this person's the best.
Yeah.
But the Avengers, like the way in which their story comes together, they're like so needy for each other.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Which is just the funniest part about that. We're like, here you have all these greatest superheroes of all time.
Right.
And then you get to, Civil War, and they're just like trying to kill each other.
Yeah.
And then like, that was the weird twist in the plot. And then all of a sudden they're like, but we love each other and we need each other to be able to win this battle. And like, while
you are so underselling the whole conflict between them.
No, I'm not trying to undersell it. I'm just saying the whole idea is just funny to me because you have these guys and gals that like, they have this huge battle between each other.
Right,
and there's the reasons why and all that. We're not going to get into that. But then the whole premise is these are the best people in multiple universes or whatever. Got to bring Thor in.
Multiple realms.
But then like to beat Thanos, they all have to work perfectly in line together, right?
Right.
And to me, it's just funny because when you actually think through that plot, it's like, wow, the math on that is like, we needed this many superheroes to beat this one guy. Like, man, supervillains are so much cooler than superheroes.
Oh yeah, they can cause so much more havoc,
right?
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, man, I understand why I like supervillains.
He's
so strong. You needed every single one of those things that happened perfectly.
Well, yeah, he had all the Infinity Stones, man. He could change reality.
Right, but he didn't have them always.
That's true.
And he just happened to get them, and none of these guys were able to figure out how to get them.
That's true.
Ridiculous.
Here's something that I think is funny. Iron Man, right?
Yeah.
He's pretty. I mean, we all love him. He's great. But he's pretty arrogant. Like if you look at, you've seen the third movie, right?
Yeah.
You know when he's talking about the terrorist guy, the Mandarin, and he's like, well, if he's so big, then here's my address. Yeah. And he tells literally all of the press's address. Goes home, just stands in his living room, and his living room gets bombed by a ton of missiles. Like, why did you not have anything protecting you?
Right. That's my point about so many of the superhero movies is like there is so much arrogance and pride in all of them. That is like the baseline understanding of the movies.
What's funny though when you watch through all the movies is you can tell that there's a little bit of just like, we're going to change this so it fits the plot.
Exactly.
Like that. Like no other situation would that happen, but it needed to for the plot.
Yeah. That's why I think in the end, like Thor was so loved. Yeah. Because when he became Fat Thor, it was the comic relief to a superhero movie that doesn't happen often. But people loved it because what they did right was they didn't just snap him back into being fit. They just left it.
Yeah.
Right. And so because of that, like it became something that people could like actually relate to. Right. Not that people didn't love the movie, but it became like these guys are superheroes or, Thor's this Norse god. Right. But there's still like it highlighted weakness in a way that most superhero movies don't. Right. Because it's like, his weakness is that he's so smart that he's become prideful. When you're right. Wait, like that's like when you're in a job interview and they ask you what your weakness is and you're like, I'm a perfectionist. You're like, so you're bragging about yourself and your weakness. That's most superhero movies. That's why Batman I appreciate because it's like he knows he's like a jerk and awful and he like people don't like him for a reason. And he like leans into that and he's like, I'll be the bad person. And you're like, you kind of are the bad person in some of the movies, right? But anyways, one person said Superman, which,
Superman, I get it. Like he's classic, but he's just so vanilla that like There's no reason that anybody on Earth should ever be able to hurt him. But in every single one of his movies, it's like,
yeah, my one weakness isn't even on this planet. How do people keep getting it?
Right. You're like, what?
Stupid.
Also, he can move so fast.
Yeah.
He can move almost as fast as the Flash in some books or movies or whatever. You can do so much more than what he does.
Yeah.
Also, why do heroes always stop and talk? That's a huge problem.
Don't know. Monologues, man. Monologue on monologue on monologue. It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
All right, be creative. What would be what would be a really lame but useful superpower?
See, these are fun to me because I like the thought process behind like take a superpower and then like what would you do with it just on a normal day?
Yeah, for sure.
Not trying to save the world or ruin the world, but what would you do just for fun? Or like maybe you'd have a job that was easier because of it.
Yeah. The first one I got to get at is the one that says Bee Man. Control all the bees, right? I got a newsflash for you. You know who you are that wrote this. That's already a job. Because all bees are robots.
Yeah.
We've already discussed this.
Yeah.
Very clearly. And so if you want that superpower, just go start working for the NSA.
But if you had the superpower, you'd know which bees are real bees. If there was any real bees, or if you like try to control them and they didn't come to you, you know it's government.
Yeah. I'm starting to be convinced. I don't even think real bees are around anymore.
No more. You think they're all extinct?
Yeah.
How do you think they produce the honey?
It's a stockpile they've had for years.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh, that's why they're doing the whole save the bees things because bees are going so.
They gotta slow. They're
stockpiles.
running low.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, the bees are dying. So it's like a double thing: save the bees because the honey's running low, and also they want you to stop killing their robotic bees. But they gotta time that ending just perfect.
Soon it'll be that the bees have stopped making honey because we've stolen all of it.
Exactly.
Oh.
They've already started that narrative.
Brilliant. Really? Wow. Yep. Government's way ahead of us.
Also, I just lost Wi-Fi. Oh, I just got back Wi-Fi.
What's up?
Cool.
That's the way to go.
Anyways, I just wanted to say that about the bees, that's already a thing. It's not a superpower. It's just called working for the NSA. Just so you know.
Kelsey on here said flying.
Yeah, it is.
Which is kind of it's a lame superpower. I heard a comedian talking about it once, and he's like, "Here's what you don't want the power to fly," and he was like, "Because you already have the power to run, and you don't do it." And it makes a really good point because it's probably not just like you just sit mindlessly flying.
Yeah,
like it's probably something you have to exercise doing.
Think about this, right? Imagine if a couple people that we knew started to fly.
Yeah.
But then imagine you're the first one to really figure it out, right?
Yeah.
And then, people are seeing you. In the movies, when Superman flies and he's like...
puts his arm out, yeah.
Right, like, it's a movie.
Yeah.
If you did that in real life, you would look stupid. It's like... like, people are going to make fun of you.
Yeah.
Right? So then, my thought, how are you going to fly? What is your stance that you're going to take?
I don't know.
If you had to fly right now and you're like, I have the ability to fly, what stance are you going to take? I don't even know what I would do with my hands, right? Like, do you do the 2-arm thing? Because that looks pretty stupid, right? But, I mean, nice air ventilation on the pits, right? Like, you're going to fly with your arms by your side and you're just going to torpedo it?
I think what
you can't just stand.
I'm going to do like Iron Man. Just like arms out, but behind you.
So you're like an airplane.
Yeah, like an airplane, not to the side, but to the like behind you, like you're using them as jet things, jet boosters, whatever those are called. But then I'm gonna just let my legs dangle.
Yeah,
so see, that's the arms.
You got to think about the core strength you have to be able to fly.
I know, yeah.
Right, like because if not, your legs just dangling behind you. You're gonna look like a little kid sitting on a stool, and your legs are just swinging ridiculous. Back and forth behind you. You cannot look cool and fly.
Yeah,
I just don't think it's possible unless you're also super strong.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe that's
or in an Iron Man suit.
Yeah, that holds
together.
you. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I agree. What would you choose? Maybe I'd choose like almost make it look like I'm swimming through air.
See, I think I'd do a similar thing, but I would face my head upward.
Well, what you gonna do?
I'm gonna do like a backstroke thing.
Backstroke. Okay. Yeah. I was thinking more like the underwater. Yeah. What do you call this one?
Breaststroke.
Is that the breaststroke? Yeah. No, breaststroke is where you're like this so you can breathe.
No, that's freestyle.
That's freestyle? What?
Yes.
Why is it called breaststroke?
Breast.
Oh, breaststroke. That makes more sense. Yeah.
chest region.
I see.
Right?
Until I was today years old when I found out it wasn't breaststroke.
Yeah. Think about this though. If you do the backstroke one, but you do your arms like right by your side, how weird is that gonna look?
That would be super weird.
Like, which way do you put your head? Right? Do you put your head like up, like you're like trying to do like look at your toes, or do you put your head back the other way? Right?
Yeah.
Like you're trying to look over yourself so you see where you're going. That's gonna freak some people out. If you're flying, your head's just like, right? Like that's gonna be creepy.
This is a great point because what part of your body is flying? Is it your core? If it's your core, you gotta hold everything else up.
Exactly.
I'm just jellyfishing. Yeah. I take it back. I'm not doing the breaststroke. I'm gonna do butterfly. Just through the air.
This soldier workout. Oh yeah, let's do it.
I just think it'd be funny to do a swimming pose because then people would be like, "Is he swimming? Is he like pushing the air? How's he doing this?"
Imagine how many less people would choose flying as a superpower if they had to fly like a bird and had to flap their wings.
Yeah, that'd be ridiculous.
No, not a chance.
My bones are too dense for that.
All right, let's keep going.
All right.
I do like snap my fingers and my gas tank is full because that'd be real nice.
That'd be pretty clutch. We have one that says telescopic vision.
That's like zooming in.
Yeah.
That's weird.
That is weird.
Although useful at like a sporting event where you have nosebleed seats.
You have binocular eyes.
But you know what? When I'm at a sporting event, I just know when I'm paying to go to a sporting event, unless I pay really expensive to be like down close, I know that I'm going for the environment, less for the game.
Right.
Because if I really care about a game, I enjoy watching on TV because of the instant replay factor.
Yeah.
That's just me as a sports fan. But, I also love being there because of the environment.
Right.
But then I don't really want to zoom in because imagine if you're zoomed in, right? Think about a camera zoom, right? You're zoomed in, looking at what's going on with the players, and then a fake happens and you miss it and you got to zoom out real quick. We don't know how fast this zoom is. And then you want to celebrate with people, then you got to make sure your eyes zoom all the way out again and everyone's already done celebrating.
What if you accidentally zoom back too far and now you're wide angled?
Or what if you zoom out so far that it just like freaks out and you can't see anything?
Oh, and you can't change it back. Like what was it when you did
like
something as a kid and they'd be like, well, if you keep your eyes like that too long, then you
cross your eyes.
Like that. Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be weird.
Maybe that would happen to you. I don't know. All right, what's the next one?
Turn anything you want into food. Zach, what is your deal with food, man?
I mean, it's a lame superpower, but at this point it's too dangerous. You could hurt so many people. You could help a lot of people, but you also hurt a lot of people. Well, I mean, they probably won't. It depends if it hurts, but you just turn somebody into some spaghetti. Ooh.
Yeah. I do like Isaiah's comment on this one. He's redeemed himself partially.
I knew you would like this one.
The clothes that always fit. I mean, that's just great.
Yeah.
As someone that has a long torso, shirts just are quite the problem.
Yeah, and you recently started working out and bought shorts, and then they
didn't fit anymore.
Yeah,
right?
We talked about this.
And then I bought, the like workout tees that are kind of stretchy.
Yeah.
Well, they're also kind of shrinkable.
Yeah.
Right? And then all of a sudden, I wear them and they barely they're long tees that like are not so long anymore.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Think
how much you'd save on clothes. You wouldn't have to try anything on.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
I hate trying clothes on.
And you could always go to the clearance section because the clearance section is always like extra, extra small or extra, extra large.
Yeah.
But here's my thought. You could buy really small Jordans for less expensive.
Baby Jordans.
And then,
that's genius.
There you go. I got you.
Kids clothing.
Kids clothing, yeah.
I mean, some of our friends, Laura, already buys kid-sized clothes.
That's true.
Shoes.
Yeah.
Baby Crocs.
You know what? I think would be a cool superpower that kind of goes along these lines? Would be like, you'd be like the human version of Photoshop. Like you just Photoshop it, like just like change the color of something. Or like use one of like the blemish tool on it. I don't know. I just think it'd be cool. Or like duplicate
Would it just do it for you though?
No. It'd be like
you're just changing people's colors in the world?
4-dimensional. Yeah, you could just change colors in the world and do all the Photoshop things. It'd be way overpowered, but I think it'd be cool.
As a colorblind person, that means literally nothing to me.
No, but there's a lot more tools than just color changing on Photoshop. You could just duplicate somebody.
That's too much power, man.
I know. It's awesome.
Airbrush
somebody out. Yeah.
Airbrush
somebody out.
You're like, this guy's too tall. Let's shrink him up.
Just
a
put
bit.
a box in front of them. Just crop out. Yeah, I don't know.
A blur bar just over people you don't want to see. I can't even stand to look at you.
Use a scissor tool.
Oh goodness.
You don't have an arm anymore.
All right.
Actually, your left arm is your right arm. Your right arm is your left.
Oh man, that's messed up.
Yeah, it is.
One of the other ones said power to heal every 15 years.
Yeah, it's pretty lame. But it'd be nice every now and then.
But think about this.
It's like 4
except
times
for
life.
tragic death, then you become, in most senses, immortal. I don't want that. I don't want to live on this earth forever.
You think you become immortal?
If it says power to heal every 15 years, unless you die of a tragic death.
Oh, like somebody.
Like someone
stabs
shoots
you?
you.
Yeah.
Right? But if not, you're just refreshing everything every 15 years.
Right. That you'd have to use it all on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That
sounds
do you think
not fun.
You think it would de-age you?
No. But you'd heal. Right? If you're healing every 15 years, then the aging process, though you start to look older.
Right.
Like if you're healing, like I have back problems. If that healed, now I wouldn't have back problems. So you get old and your bones get thinner.
Right.
A healing process would mean your bones wouldn't be thinner anymore.
You think so? That's what you think? Then that'd be crazy.
That's healing, right?
Yeah.
Your body is going back to what is good and healthy.
What if you were coming up on your 15 years though, and then something happened and you needed to use it on somebody else?
I don't think you can use it.
What?
You have to only use it on you.
No, she said healing family members and stuff. So she's saying
Where's that?
It's right next to it.
Because you could heal any scars or sickness or on you or a loved one. Oh.
Yeah. Scars? Why scars?
You know what I really want to heal after this 15 years?
Something that's already been healed.
A scar. I once heard someone really wise say that, scars are a story of where we've been.
Who said that?
Don't know. I saw it on Instagram.
You kind of said. I thought you might have heard it on a TV show or something.
No, I saw it on Instagram.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's very
where all my wisdom comes from.
I mean, if you could do that, you could be a really good doctor every now and then.
Every 15 years.
What ailment you got?
Cure someone of
Doesn't
something
matter.
ridiculous. All right. Talk about yours, because this is the dumbest thing I've ever read.
Well, I was thinking this is a really useful but lame superpower. It's just extendable toes. Like Mr. Fantastic, but just your toes.
So you can always reach the one thing that's just out of reach. Why didn't you pick fingers?
Well, it's not as useless.
What?
It's not. Listen,
Explain.
think of your
elaborate.
You're on your tippy toes. My toes are probably 1.5 to 2 inches each. I got long toes, but if I can make them 4, 5, 6 inches, and I really needed to pick something up that was 3 inches out of reach, easy.
So tell me this.
Yeah.
You think if you extend your toes,
yeah,
they're going to still be able to hold your whole body weight?
Maybe.
Your toes are that strong that if you double their length,
I would make them stronger. I'd have to do a lot more calf exercises, which
so
honestly I should probably do anyway.
Okay, and so think about this.
Yeah.
In that scenario, how is the toes becoming longer more useless than the fingers?
Because you do so much more things with your hands that it's just so much I would rather
I'm
have
disagree with you on that.
Let me ask you this question. Would you rather have feet for hands or hands for feet?
Wait a sec. Hang on, say it again.
Would you rather
How did
have
we get here? I was just asking the one scenario. I'm trying to understand.
I'm trying to prove my point by a question.
Hands for feet.
Yeah, or feet for hands.
Feet for hands.
Yeah.
Well, I would say hands for feet, mostly because feet stink. I don't want stinky hands.
Well, they probably stink because they put all this. You put them in your shoes all day.
I don't know.
Well, okay. That's the only reason. I would be I can't. If you had feet right here, I mean, maybe you could type, but it'd be really weird.
You'd learn to adapt.
But you'd be like this.
Yeah. So
that'd be ridiculous.
But that's not what your superpower is.
How are you gonna hold a cup? How are you gonna Drive a car.
I could hold a cup with my feet right now.
There are people
No,
that don't
what?
have
Not
arms
drink out of
and
it.
their feet for everything.
What?
Yeah. What Paul just said. You're being super insensitive to people that don't have arms and have to use their feet for everything.
Yeah, and it's probably more inconvenient than having hands.
What? Wait, what? What did you just say? That is...
Wait. Yeah, no, I stand by it. It's
Wait,
inconvenient in comparison to having hands.
Yeah, of course it's a...
That's what I'm saying. Is having hands having hands for feet instead of feet for hands is way better.
Okay. Yeah, but that doesn't answer the question of why you want extendable toes instead of fingers.
Here's what I'm saying. I'm saying
Connect it for me.
I'm not saying I would prefer the toes over the hands.
Oh, okay.
Right? I'm saying it's more useless to have extendable toes than extendable fingers because your hands are just more useful than your feet. That's just the simple fact.
I don't know.
You don't know.
If you lose your feet, man, the inability to walk or drive and all that stuff is pretty debilitating.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's not fun.
Mm-hmm.
Losing both your hands or losing both your feet would suck either way.
Right.
But if I had to choose having hands for feet,
Well, what
or
are you
feet for hands,
choosing to lose? Would you rather lose your hands or your feet?
I'd rather lose my feet. I mean, obviously it's not going to be great, but I mean, they have prosthetics, and I could get used to it. Not being able to use all the fine motor functions in my hands, that would stink.
Dude, I don't know if prosthetics would work if you lose both your feet. I don't think you're able to walk.
Yeah, no, there's tons of people who have
With both prosthetics?
Yeah, absolutely.
The balance aspect.
There's runners who have.
Well, I know they have like the blades for runners. Those are cool.
Those are cool.
But like just the balance aspect of would be a quite the learning curve.
Oh, absolutely. But I mean,
because don't they say like all your balance is in your big toe?
Yeah. I don't know. Do they say that? Paul, do they say that?
Imagine.
Yeah, they say
Imagine if only your big toe was the one that got bigger.
I bet you I could. Oh, the only extendable one.
You could choose
I have
one.
such good balance. Actually, here's another thing.
You could be a ballerina.
It would actually.
You'd be the best ballerina. You're just on your toes. They're super extended. Think how tall you could get.
I could be so
As
tall.
you're in your show and you're like spinning, you just keep getting taller. You'd be like a cork.
I'd probably be 6'11".
You could be 6'11". The magic of that show.
That's crazy. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'd have to have such good balance. Think about this. I could buy a pair of shoes that's a little bit too big for me and fit into them all the time. My left foot is a little bit bigger than my right foot, and it does not work well with my climbing shoes. Mm-hmm. They hurt every time. I just buy a little bit bigger pair. Boom. Fits perfectly.
Why don't you just get better fitting shoes?
Because I don't want to buy another pair of shoes. I mean, in this scenario, I'd still have to. I'd have to buy a bigger pair of shoes so I could fit into them.
You're still in the same spot, man.
But it makes more sense if I have the supernatural ability to extend my toes, okay?
Okay. It's your superpower you want.
Yeah. What would you choose? What's your useless superpower?
Wait, what was it? What would be a really lame... So you said what would be really lame but still useful?
Yeah,
and you're talking about the most useless of the two, but it doesn't say that. It just says useful. Which one would be more lame?
The toes.
The toes one?
Oh,
you
definitely.
Still stand by it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Because your whole argument was about what was more useless but useful.
100%, yeah.
Which is why I was really confused.
Yeah,
because you were arguing one is more useless, but the thing in here is useful.
Listen, the toes is both more useless and more lame.
Okay.
So,
we're
going with more lame there.
I understand where we're at now. Okay, I was very confused at what was going on.
Let me give you this one last thing. Right, you're reaching for the bracket key or the backspace key with your pinky. Can't reach it. Boom, extendable fingers. You got it. Easy. That's too useful, man. Like what? You get backspace.
It says useful. Your
I know. I understand.
Which is really lame, but still useful. You're arguing a different thing. This is why I'm so confused. You're talking about useless, and this says useful.
Right. We're talking about the useful to lame currency here, right? If it's too useful, if it's too useful, it becomes not as lame. And so if
this makes zero sense.
This is what I'm saying. The foot extending toes, way more lame because it's less useful.
Oh my goodness. There's just all definitions of things have gone out the building.
Yeah, that's fair. It was a bit of a nonsensical question anyway.
Yeah. But I'm just saying what you were arguing was so confusing to me because you were just going against the question.
I think if you listen back to it, you'll see I had a very coherent argument.
I was just lost when you kept saying useless, and I'm reading the question going, I don't know how this connects. It says useful superpower. Yeah. Really lame, but useful superpower. I honestly think flying's the best answer to this one. I mean, it is still useful.
You know, I think it'd be a good
but
one
I think
for
it's
you.
lame. What?
I think if you could, like, you had one of those, like, multi-tool pens, but it came out of your finger.
Why?
Because you could just, like, highlight or, like, you like, and your finger is a pen, and you can just write with it. That'd be useful for you. Does Inspector Gadget have a pen in his finger?
And I don't think he's a superhero.
What?
He's just a robot.
He's got a prosthetic.
He's a cyborg.
He's a robot? I don't remember.
I mean, yeah. He's just a human that they put a bunch of robot stuff in, right? Is he still a human?
Yeah.
Huh.
He's a iRobot. Yeah, I'm thinking flying, man. Flying is lame. It's such a lame superpower, especially if that's the only thing you have.
That's true.
There is never anyone that's like, we should make a superhero, and all they do is fly.
Yeah. Plus, you gotta put so much sunscreen on.
No, I'm Mexican, man. I'll be okay.
Yeah, but you're still gonna get the weird T-shirt tan.
No, I'm gonna wear a morph suit every time I fly. Obviously.
Oh, like a super suit.
Yeah, of course.
That makes sense.
And a cape.
Oh yeah. So it looks cooler.
Exactly.
Distracts from what your hands are doing, which is this.
Yeah. So I'm just falling with style.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about this last one because clearly there's some debate on this one. You said
I was so surprised.
Said, oof, the following lame superpowers. Which would you pick?
I did not mean to say oof.
You did say oof. Oof the following.
I never noticed this. What did I write?
It's OOF. Oof the following lame superpowers. Which would you pick? And you said detachable arms, invisibility, but whenever you're invisible, you're blind, seeing 1 second in the future, an ability to teleport to the nearest bathroom at will. And
the majority of people chose teleport to the nearest bathroom at will.
Yeah, which is
amazing.
No.
Amazing.
Think about this.
Yeah.
The biggest time you have that problem is when you're driving home and your brain is thinking about the toilet, right? Because I stand by this. Our bodies have a radar of where the closest toilet is. And when you get within 15 feet, your body starts to relax in ways that you don't want. And then you start to panic. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about, right?
I hear you.
If you teleport to the nearest bathroom and you're driving, you've now just teleported out of a moving vehicle, and that thing is going to crash into someone. You don't have a car anymore.
Well, yeah, obviously you don't do it while you're driving.
When else do you need to teleport to the nearest bathroom? It's always when you're driving on a road trip. That's when people think. That is what I would guarantee that 90% of the people thought when I am in need of a bathroom and I'm driving somewhere, I'm stuck in traffic, or I'm on a road trip and I have to get to the bathroom, I'm going to teleport myself there. 90%. That is my number. And those people have just crashed their cars into other people and killed innocent people. Super villains.
I don't think that's what they're thinking. I have more faith in them that they were thinking of other times.
No.
This is what I thought.
When else do you need to just teleport to the bathroom?
I didn't vote for this one, but this is what I thought. I've told you the story about me in China.
Yeah.
When I needed to go to the library to do the number 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. That's when I needed it.
Yeah. Just that one time, though. I'm saying all the other times when you really need it is when you're in the car.
There are times. Well, there's been a couple other times where I got the throat flu and I was outside and I was like, I could use a bathroom right now.
Yeah.
There are times. It's always an emergency when you need to teleport to the bathroom. But when you need to, having that ability would be great. Plus, you actually don't even need to. You could just teleport there. The only problem that I see with this whole power is what if somebody's already in there?
So that's part of it. But I'm still saying, I agree with you. This when you need to is when you're going to use it. And I'm saying most of the time when you need to is when you're in a car. Because if you're already outside, if worse comes to worse, you got a place to go. Ain't no one want to have to poop in their own car in their pants. Because now you got to clean up your pants and your car smells like poo-poo.
Do you know anybody who's pooped in their own car?
No.
I feel like that's not a thing that happens.
I'm sure it's happened. No one has ever had to poop really, really bad while in their car?
I'm sure it's happened.
Happens to me like once a month going
But it always works out for you.
I drive an hour.
You don't know anybody who has ever been a big enough problem to where they've pooped in their car.
Well, who wants to tell someone that that's happened?
I would tell you if that happened.
Just yeah, but you're different, man.
I would also probably tell the podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Because humor makes things less shameful.
Most people would not want to talk about their poo-poo incident in their own vehicle. I'm just saying this one is more problematic than people understand. Because if you're driving a car, you can't just teleport out of it.
Agreed.
Right? If you're in a business meeting and you really have to go poop, you can't just teleport out of it. Because now people are going to be like, where did that guy go? And then you're going to have to explain that you teleported out because you had to go poo-poo. Yeah. Right? What if someone's already in that stall?
Yeah, that's a problem.
Here's what if it's a single hole? Do you get to choose which bathroom it is? Do you have to be able to envision where the closest bathroom is?
No, it is the closest bathroom to you, which I'm gonna define as just a toilet.
Yeah. What if the closest bathroom is an outhouse?
Or what if the closest bathroom is a women's room and you're a man? See? Or what if
too problematic?
The closest bathroom is 3 miles away and then you have to walk back to your car. Which is still driving down the road.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Your car is just gone. You don't know where it's gonna take you. I have control issues with this one.
Yeah.
Nope.
You're
all wrong.
I don't know why that one got the most, but that's why I think it's amazing. Is everybody not unanimously, but tons of people just chose that answer, and I don't totally know why because I don't think they thought it through.
Most of them were thinking the road trip in the car situation. I am telling you, Paul, would you have thought that way? Would you have thought about, yes, look it, he's saying yes. This is a man that has had problems at my house and he's had to drive home and he's on his way home and I know he's had issues because we talked about it, we've giggled about it. I've had this problem where I'm driving, I'm like, I have to pull into a gas station right now and I have to go. Right? So your thought is like, man, be able to teleport in that situation and be in the bathroom, great. You don't think about the fact that then your $10,000 to $20,000 to $30,000 vehicle that is just a weapon is now driving down the freeway with no one inside of it.
Yeah, in that moment, though, you don't really care.
You don't care. So this is the problem. You would
have
use
to
it
care.
then.
Oh,
you would use it then, and people would just be like, I have to poop, and they would leave their car, and their car would be.
Paul, I thought you were so much more responsible than that.
You give people too much credit, man. When you have to go poop, you do not care what happens. That's all you can think about is I have to get to the bathroom. Because the open shame about pooping your pants is too much for the human psyche to handle.
Maybe. Yeah,
shame.
That's true.
The shame.
I think if you can confidently embrace that shame, though, like there's some power there. You're like, if you're like, hey, I just told you a story where I pooped my pants. Like, what are they gonna do? They're gonna be like, you pooped your pants, you idiot.
Yep, that is the ultimate. That is the ultimate evil power, though, to make someone instantly poop their pants.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That would wreak havoc on the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
No, wait. I have a couple more things to say.
on pooping your pants.
On not pooping your pants, but the teleporting to the bathroom.
All right, but we have like 3 minutes, so we got to get through this.
Okay, real quick. One more problem. Even if you're like, hey, I just parked my car outside my house, you might teleport into your neighbor's bathroom if it's closer.
True.
Second problem. If you were to do it while you're in the car, what if your momentum didn't change and you just teleport into the stall at 60 miles an hour? Just slammed right into it. That would be crazy.
Burst through the stall door. All right. My answer to this one was what got second place, seeing 1 second in the future.
Well, which is, I think, definitely the best one.
Yeah, this is beneficial.
Yeah.
Right? Think
not
about,
for a lot of things, but for a few things.
Think about sports.
Yeah, sports for one.
1 second is everything.
Yeah.
If you can see 1 second in the future, what's going to happen? Man, that changes everything. I feel like that borderline's on cheating, but in the sporting event, but irregardless.
Yeah.
Useful.
Right. I think the problem here is you have to be able to train your body to act 1 second in the past if you're seeing things 1 second in the future.
Yeah, I don't think that's a problem.
Yeah. It'd just be
you just reaction.
Here's
work on your reaction skills.
Yeah, somebody said
reacting.
That was really good. It was really good. Somebody said you could trade stocks really quick, and I was like, I don't know if it would process that fast.
No, it wouldn't.
Yeah,
you wouldn't have the ability to process that fast.
Yeah,
one, because you have to trade the stocks with your hands, and 1 second does give you an advantage.
Right,
but I don't think it's that good of an advantage.
Right,
unless you're the craziest, quickest stock trader in all of the land.
Yeah, maybe you get an algorithm set up.
Yeah, you're like the dual guys, but with trading stocks.
Yeah.
Invisibility when your eyes
are closed.
When you have to be blind, dumb.
I think how did I phrase that answer?
You said invisibility, but when you're invisible, you're blind.
Oh yeah, okay, so I phrased it right. Yeah, I mean, I think it has its benefits because if you were like, a brawler, like if you're fighting somebody. You could invisible or close your eyes and you're invisible and then punch them, they wouldn't see it coming. But other than that, it's not very helpful.
But it's not just closing your eyes. When you become invisible, you're blind.
Yeah.
Not just like
you aim your punch,
eyes.
close your eyes. They can't see it coming.
What?
No, you become invisible. You become invisible, but you're blind.
Yeah. But if you aim your punch and you're going and then you become blind, a good fighter is gonna see that first initial move and they're gonna dodge it. Bro, these guys, okay, we got to move quickly through this, but watch the TikTok videos where these fighters are blindfolded and they're friggin' swinging kettlebells like the water bottle challenge that people do, and all the untrained people are throwing water bottles, hitting each other in the head, and these trained fighters are just sitting there like swinging a kettlebell and they're dodging kettlebells swinging at their head. I don't think the blindness helps for boxing.
Maybe
That's all I'm
saying. But maybe hitting a random person.
Yeah, random person for sure.
But
you shouldn't do that.
In a fight, the 1 second ahead would definitely work better.
Yeah, and also the last one, detachable arms. That's the dumbest thing. You detach your arms. How are you going to pick up your arms?
Well, you detach one of them at a time.
How are you going to detach the second one?
You don't. What? Why would you detach both of them at the same time?
Why do you have detachable arms then? Why wouldn't it be a detachable arm?
Because you could choose which one. You're like, oh, I want to shake somebody's hand as far away, but I want to use my right hand to shake them because that's proper. And so you take it.
It wouldn't be your right hand. It wouldn't be your right arm.
Well, you grab it so that they can shake the right hand. You know.
Dumb.
I think it's great. Speaking of which, you could also reach things that are higher up, which is the same with the extendable toes.
Yeah, it's just pretty much the same.
Work well for rock climbing too. It's just like an extra.
Oh goodness. Yeah. Let me just take this arm off so I get higher up.
Plus, just throw it in the dishwasher.
I don't think it'd be very strong. You'd have to have a really good grip.
You would.
And then a really good bicep to pull up both arms.
And you'd be giving yourself an Indian burn every time you did that.
Anyways, clearly we've decided what the best superpowers are and what they aren't. And you guys were pretty wrong this week. But you know what? You can't always be perfect. And words of wisdom. You have 12 seconds. Go.
Don't get superpowers. Probably not. It's probably going to ruin your life.
Yeah, I agree with him. Don't do it. Anyways, we love you guys. Thanks for listening. And look out for our upcoming sale on our website because we're going to make everything way cheaper. Check that out. Thanks for listening. And remember, stay odd.